Oh, graduated, elevated. Now it's my time to shine. Yeah, let's go. Graduated, elevated. Now it's my time to shine. Yeah, let's go. Major moves.
Hello and welcome to Ph.D. Hard Talk, Dr. Rahul Satheesh. Thank you so much for your time. Could you please introduce yourself, your research, and the institute that you went to?
Yep. Once again, thanks for the invitation, Noma, and hi all. And I am coming from my native is actually in Kerala, in India, southern India, and yeah, I'm a village boy here in Kerala. No, and after that, yeah, after my um, BTech in electrical and electronics engineering in Kerala, Trivandrum itself, and after that I joined power systems engineering at Anna University, Chennai. Then after that I yeah went for 3 years. I'm enrolling the 3-year teaching experience in College of Engineering, Kidangur, and Vidya Academy of Science and Technology in Kerala itself. And after the 3 years of teaching, I got an admission in National Institute of Technology, Calicut, um, doctoral studies in power system engineering under Dr. Sunitha R. And that my research life started from there in 2017 July, and I submitted my thesis after 5 years, exactly 5 years, 2022 July, and my final defense is also over by previous month itself. Yeah, that's my research, and my research topic is about regarding power system oscillation analysis, and the main hot topic is actually identification of electromechanical modes in power systems using signal processing and AI approaches, artificial intelligent approaches. So that I deal with through the whole 5 years of my research in connect with power grid, Indian power grid scenario. Yeah, that about my research.
Amazing.
And yeah, I after that I joined an electric vehicle industry push. Yeah.
So I'm intrigued with your research title. So I just wanted to understand what got you into this research. What was the passion behind it? Because, like you said, you spent 5 years looking at the same information. What is the passion?
Yeah, passion drives me actually. It's a after all, after I complete my MTech itself, I have a passion towards a proper research. Want to continue in that power systems area itself. But in my family situation, I need to go the job, and I want to take a break towards teaching side, academic side. What it I can feel. I want to feel how much teaching career to begin, and I want to try that. So I went for the teaching in normal government engineering college and also one private institution. After that only I regularly want to after 1 year, after 1.5 year itself, I tried so many PhD interviews. I got the selection after 1 year. It's exactly after third. I think the third interview. Yeah, third interview I got. I cited another two NITs in the past. So my
Yeah.
third NIT is NIT Calicut for the interview. Yeah, the third time I passed. Yeah, so, finally
Wow.
that. Yeah, and better for the field, better goodness is like that. I have a lot of good colleagues, good researchers, good lab members. After all, my guide is also so supportive, and campus is also so admirable. So yeah, that's in a pretty point of view. I can look it back. I now the 5 years, how much I am progress, and not about the academic and research thing. I grow as a person is also important, I think so. After the
Mm.
research, yeah,
Yeah,
that will create
amazing.
the value.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No, no, thank you for highlighting the fact that you grew as a person because the project is a long project, but you go through so many milestones. And I think sometimes we do forget that as people, we do develop more skills and we learn so much about ourselves, what we can take, what we can't take. So thank you so much. And in terms of your topic then, how does it benefit the wider community? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. For the research point of view, and I can share this. I want to share this. So many students are struggling with the initial how it is pitching a project. So I in the problem statement to find out the problem statement for the particular my research work is. So I want to I have read. I already took 1 year for the literature part, and I consulted with so many power grid utilities and Central Power Research Institute, Bangalore, POSOCO Bangalore, Power System Corporation Limited. So I want to engage it with industry and how the industry suffers that problem. I want to realize the fact that not only the academic papers and all, how the real situation is going on in that sector. We want to check it. Otherwise, no use of research work where it will strictly binding on or bounding on like the library. This is in a shelf. So I want to make it more in a comprehensive manner. It will need to step up in some other time. So that's why I properly connected with the industry and also the academia for the initial finalizing the problem statement in the initial stage itself. So it will take a longer time, but it, it need to be, and also it will boost our strength. I think so. The foundation will be perfect. So that's the thing I want to convey for the young researchers also. Do your proper literature, and for the by finalizing the problem statement when you are starting the project. Yeah.
Okay, since you're advising already, let's talk about the hypothesis and the objectives. How did you narrow that down and come to a point whereby you were really comfortable to say, this is the title, these are my objectives, and I know that this works? How did you quantify that? How did you get to that point?
Yeah. That too also some other researchers or some young researchers are fine for firstly going through the title. So don't go for the title. Title will come up to you. Yeah, that's the thing I want to say that. So after your proper literature, when you are doing a proper literature, there will be so many papers. There are more than 500 papers. We can use the Mendeley platform or Sotero platform for the library manager and do a proper literature survey. After that, you will find out some research gap for every paper, or you can find out any papers have some novelty about it. So that select that papers, and with that 500 papers to 100 papers, important 100 papers, then you can find out the research gap. Then consolidate research gap. After that consolidation, you will get a particular problem statement from the research gap. Then improve your problem statement from that. That will lead to a good objective for the project. That objective will create the title. That's my point of view. Yeah.
Okay, now let's go into the literature review, because from my understanding and from what I've seen in terms of questions that I've received, when it comes to a literature review, people don't seem to understand the perfect skill. I'll put it that way. What is the perfect strategy to adopt when writing a literature review and also reading for a literature review? Because sometimes, you read papers and you're like, that's an interesting paper, but it has nothing to do with what you're doing. And sometimes you read a paper, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. But amazing for what?
Yeah.
So if you could advise as well, that would be brilliant. Thank you.
And basic thing is like that. Actually, we can't. We for the literature point of view, we can't move the whole paper in a right away. We need to go what the paper suggests. That means there's an introduction section, there's a methodology section, and the result section, and a finalizing section. There are 4 sections in any papers. Wherever in which area, wherever you are going to read the paper, there will be 4 sections: introduction, methodology, what the results, and about the conclusions. So I would like to concentrate the last part of introduction for every paper. So last part of introduction paper will give what the paper suggests for you. So if you are interested in that particular point, you can move ahead with the methodology and the results. Otherwise, you can neglect. That sorting is like that. So sorting should be like that. Otherwise, we need to waste the time also. So we don't have much the time. I have much use time, but but the time is important. Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of, I know you've mentioned in regards to AI, right? And there's been a lot of debate in regards to AI in terms of the benefits, the lack of regulation, and you're saying AI, and this is an assumption that I'm making, that it is good and is required. So in your own opinion, then, do you think it is good and it is required, and do we need regulation since it links into your work? I mean, your thesis, that is.
Yeah. Before that, I want to say that the AI techniques what I adapted is based upon our futuristic approaches only. So when you formulate a thesis, I majorly concentrate upon the signal processing structure. If my project has 5 topics, five parts, so I want to, or not I want to, we want to, every researcher make a point or make a part for the future studies. So I have designed my project or my thesis as a 5 divisions, and first 3 only I based on the core work of mine, and the last 2 session I give it to the future aspects. So first thing for the multi-channel methods, that's the fourth chapter of mine, and the 5th chapter of mine I dedicated to AI techniques. So something I want to try some deep learning methods in place of signal processing approaches. I already tried. So that will boost someone can engage through AI studies in future. That's the point I want to convey. When we formulate a thesis, your introduction is important, your work is important, your futuristic aspects also important. That will give others boost up to do something in your area. So that's what I created some AI techniques at the last point of my work. So that's the thought behind that. Yeah, it's everything in conviction. Yeah.
So going back to your research then, the methodology chapter, what measurements did you adopt and why? What was the strategy?
In methodology, or
Yes.
methodology is depends upon how the objective will be. I think so. So if you are formulating a particular objective, uh, there are different paths to lead with that objective. So methodology can be tried. Uh, what you need to obtain, there will be like you said, the hypothesis will be there for any project. So we have sort of assumption like that we will get something related to this, right? So that can be obtained through different methodology. So yeah, I applied some non-stationary signal processing approaches for my mode of estimation. I mean estimation of modes, low frequency modes in that power systems. So I need to go ahead with different various approaches, and I included what I believe I succeed some sort of algorithms, not every algorithms. So that algorithms can be I adapted to thesis, whatever it is productive at that time. So I included like that. You can try for different methodology. We can't say it will be adaptable or not. After doing only, we can formulate like that. This thing is valuable for, or this will give some value addition to what are the methods what we can propose. Yeah.
Okay, so when you were making your choices, was it supervisor led, or did you come up with the strategies yourself when you're looking back?
Yeah, not like that. Actually, we need to validate it. So every methodology need to be validated with what my approaches was. I was checking some denoising, I was checking some statistical parameter. When you are like that, you are telling about the AI, we need to go ahead with the statistical parameters like RMSE, MAP. There are so many statistical parameters is there. We want to evaluate the error prediction. We need to validate for whatever be the results we need to obtain. We need to validate through some reasons. So the statistical parameter estimation is also important for the AI techniques or the signal processing approaches. So that should be done. Then only we can state like that this one is working and this one is dominating like dominant. This one proves dominance than other methods or like that we can conclude at that time. Yeah.
So, in terms of the limitations of your research, then, how did you identify them, and how did you get to a point whereby you were confident to actually write them in your thesis? Because it is quite intimidating, isn't it? To write your own limitations. But how did you find that confidence when you were writing your limitations for your research?
Yeah. There are several limitations. Actually, we need to thought about it because when we select a project itself, the starting phase itself, one researcher or one particular student should know about what the capacity of your campus and also the collaborative campus and the assistive industries. Three things we need to note it. We must note it. Otherwise, we need to suffer for that particular selection of topic and selection of the project. So so I can communicate like that. Actually, what are the lab setup available? Laboratory setup available in our lab, and is there any collaboration with our campus to any other foreign universities? There is some adaptation is there. Any research like visiting researcher possibility for the lab work is available. Now the world thinking about like that. So the collaborative approach is needed for some sort of work, and that part is important. And why I already say that it is accompanied, my project is accompanied with the power grid, Indian power grid, and so I need to take help from there itself. And I have the limitation with the lab setup, also with the data. While we are saying that AI is simply saying that AI is superb and all, but the data is very important. So the
Yes.
I can simulate data for any parameters, but for the real time data from the power sector, it is quite uh, very risky at sort of at least for the Indian conditions. So
Mm.
yeah, that part some limitations is there, but we can improve in, or we can hide it some other way. I think we can we can simulate for the particular standard systems and showing that this one is will work, and we can estimate that this one this will also work for the real time atmosphere also. That in sort of way we can conclude that like that. Yeah, for particular big data product, like big data issue is a real issue what we are facing for the researchers. Yeah, sufficient data.
Thank you so much. And in terms of the software that you use then to analyze your data, what software did you use, and what were the challenges that you did face when using that software? I know we get trained and everything. What were the key challenges that you faced that you would like to share with the
Yeah,
audience?
for the software and all, I didn't get and that much struggles and all. I used in MATLAB. Uh, you know MATLAB, right? Yeah, the MATLAB software. Yeah.
No, I was going to ask, what is it?
Yeah. Oh, it's actually mathematical tool itself. That is a MATLAB, sorry, MATLAB, MATLAB, and MATLAB
Mhm,
software will be there. And normally, engineering perspective, all engineering perspective, we can use MATLAB simulation software, and
mhm,
MATLAB we can use, and also PSCAD we can use, Power System CAD, PSCAD also you can be used, and also Python I use for the AI.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's a tool I majorly I used to my systems, and I'm also a part of expertise in MATLAB. So that's a software skills I belongs to my research work.
Mm.
And
So now,
obviously the documentation is also LaTeX and Word, Office, and that part is there. But I mean the software skills I can exhibit MATLAB and PSCAD. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So when we're looking at your PhD journey then, because you said that, you know, it was a year till you got into your PhD. So when you're looking at that journey then and you finish now, what advice do you have for somebody that wants to go in and start a PhD in terms of writing a proposal, preparing for, you know, the interview, and also accepting the offer that comes in, because it's not every offer that you should say yes to, as we've learned.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have?
Now I can make advice after 5 years. Yeah. There are a lot of I have seen lot of students, a lot of passionate researchers, lot of teachers, lot of mentors. So for the new budding researchers, I can say that um, need to take globally, improve your connections, get the experience from higher ones, and the selection of college, and that everyone talks about. Selection of college is important, selection of grade is important. So this should be in our perception. There may be the good mentor in a low college, a low level college, and a higher in a higher college itself, higher institutions itself offers the low indexing professors will be there. They can choose, but which brand you want, that's the sole discretion from the researcher point of view. What area we want to select, and what research area, what is it a pro, and there is also another criteria is there. Maybe the mentor is a publication king. Maybe the researcher king publishing is different at some time. The pure research is going on lab. Maybe that will create some papers. And some of the mentors will lead to publication point of view only. So maybe the lab, what the student may like the lab atmosphere, the assistance from the mentor continuously. So it depends on the change in selection of researcher itself. What you need. So need to inquire about the mentor students, earlier students, pioneer students of mentor, pioneer students of that college, and properly inquire about the college and the mentor and their behavior.
Yeah.
And the behavior is also important. The 3 to 5 years you are spending a lot of time with that mentor. There will be some there are so many issues. I have also seen some mental health issues, psychiatric issues. So need to take care our mental health beyond after all that. So that's a first thing. So need to be cautious while selecting the institution or a mentor by including these criteria.
No, thank you very much. You know, because it is a challenge, like you said, you're with that person for 4 to 5 to 6 years. And if you've not chosen well, but sometimes you don't have choice. You have to manage the situation. So if you have to manage a toxic environment, what advice do you have for that individual that's currently going through a bad relationship with their supervisors, and they're not sure what to do? What steps should they take in regards to getting better within themselves?
Yeah, actually, my first suggestion is for the researcher itself. First thing I told you, need to take care of your options while you are selecting the institution or the mentor. Second thing, if you are entering can't afford a good relationship with the mentor, it will be difficult to finalize your thesis or finalize your project. So after all this research and all, we need to have a particular mental health for our own itself. Otherwise, a PhD is not relevant. Academic is not relevant. Whatever will be the assistance is not relevant. Everyone must have a good mental health and for your better future, I think so. So my one more suggestion is that I know much about the Indian conditions are down. Even so many cases are reporting for the mental health. I want to make a point like that. We should have some academic counselors for the researchers, because it's not for the not like PG and all. Even PG also suffering the same issue, but for researchers' point of view, they are spending 3 to 5 to 6 years for the same campus. So we can explore more and more uh, in that institutions. Like mentors should support them. My mentor supported so many things. I mean the internal collaboration, interdepartmental collaboration, external collaboration. I already had collaborate with the Australian Monash universities. I've done so many things. I tried so many things. So these opportunities are there for PhD students. So we need to explore it. Don't bound the line within yourself or the within your lab itself. Go beyond that. And there are so many exposure to the researchers. Try to catch it and explore it. That I want to tell. And also what your point is like that, I want to suggest that every academic institutions or industrial PhD students also there, so need to have some mental support through academic counselor. If there is any problem, we can approach to that particular faculty or staff in charge and consult with him what we need to do. Need a support in some time. We are all going when some imposter syndrome, or you may have heard about it. So we need to talk about it, and we need to take care of that, and we need to put that topic in the discussion forums of PhD while we are discussing with PhDs and all. So that are so much important in that, I think so. I think very much relevant now these days, because all mentors will go ahead with the publication, and now so many hectic things will go on. So we don't care sometimes the proper mental health of researchers. So that also important, I think so. Very much important.
Thank you very much. That was well detailed. So the next question then, going back to the viva, the defence, how does one prepare for their defence and also have the confidence to articulate their research, knowing that there's so many questions coming in? Because sometimes, you know your staff, you know it very, very well, but when you're in a room with people, you may know some of them, but you may not know them.
Yeah.
Maybe you know them from the internet, and let's put it that way. But you're in there and you're defending your baby. How do you build that confidence up? What did you do?
It was a nice question. No, it was a nice question, because I'm not that much smart or communicative, and yeah, I'm totally an introvert, like kind of thing, while doing and starting at PhD. So I don't
You're talking to me.
yeah. But the thing is like that only. So um, that part I actually I like that question. Actually, in my first year and second year, I have gone through some studies, coursework, and all. I strictly in lab. I'm not interested to communicate. And not interested means not interested, but I am little bit struggled how I communicate with that professor, how I communicate with that particular industry person. So I'm a little bit struggled. For I think every researcher will be like that for the initial stage. But suddenly, even my interest is like to want to connect with the global persons, global researchers, what they are working, my same domain. I want to communicate with them. So in that time, I actually in that case, I brushed up on IEEE activities. So I took the in charge for taken the in charge for the secretary IEEE Power Energy Society of NITC. I took the charge, and that's the Corona time. Actually, I used that because every professor is sitting in their home. They will want to communicate. So before within the 6 months itself, I arranged a 60 online webinar program and all. So I just communicate with them. I driven my fear and all to communicate with them, and I can actually I have so much freedom with that. I have a lot of connections. I learned how to use the LinkedIn platform, Twitter, and I have a lot of connections, now a lot of global academic connection, industry connections and all through only IEEE only. So IEEE have a very lot influenced me a lot. I think so. I don't know how much thanks I can give to IEEE. So so my confidence to communicate with these. I can say that apart from my mentor from the campus itself, I got so many help from Alberg University, Mexico, Portugal. There are so many famous universities there, and the professors is already willing to talk with me as a simple person of researcher in southern India. They are willing to talk with me through IEEE and other activities. I can communicate with them. I ask them to, can you sit for some time? I can share my ideas. They will plan and schedule a meeting and come.
Yeah.
It's a I mean we are not limiting ourselves within a boundary, and we need to go beyond like that. There are so many freely we can knowledge can be shared with anyone everywhere in the world. Make it global and think global and use it global. So I think that should be the perception of researchers. We don't